The Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't merely play the T-800. He became a walking slab of cinematic destiny wrapped in leather, sunglasses, and an accent thick enough to stop bullets. Over decades, the T-800 evolved from terrifying nightmare fuel into a confused mechanical babysitter with daddy issues and outdated software. Assassin, protector, father figure, grandfather, and somehow still a murder machine. Along the way, the franchise delivered time paradoxes that eat their own logic, CGI that aged faster than Arnold somehow didn't, and catchphrases doing more work than the scripts themselves. We got lawsuits, reboots pretending previous reboots never happened, and Skynet math that collapses under basic thought.
Sierra, go.
So charge your plasma rifles, reset the timeline again, and prepare for metal-on-metal nonsense. Sorry to interrupt, but the T-800 just time-traveled to 2026 and said if you don't subscribe, it's Judgment Day. Thanks. Catchphrase. Almost canceled. The most iconic line in action movie history nearly didn't exist because of grammar. Arnold Schwarzenegger once argued with James Cameron over saying, "I will be back" instead of "I'll be back." Yes, the future of cinema almost collapsed over a contraction. Arnold believed full wording sounded more robotic because nothing says killing machine like perfect English class attendance. Cameron, already juggling explosions and studio panic, shut it down and told Arnold to say the line as written. And thanks Skynet, he did. The shorter version landed harder, colder, and instantly carved itself into pop culture. It became the catchphrase of the decade. One petty argument accidentally gave the world a legendary moment. Proof that sometimes greatness survives despite everyone trying to improve it. John Connor erased. Terminator. Dark Fate opens by assassinating the franchise itself. John Connor, humanity's savior, the reason for two legendary films, is casually deleted in the first minutes like a corrupted save file. A random leftover T-800 shows up, shoots him, and leaves. No build-up, no payoff. Just ice cream and instant narrative collapse. The emotional weight of T2 is obliterated faster than Skynet servers. The film then asks the audience to care about a new chosen one because Destiny apparently runs on a subscription model. The CGI resurrection of young characters looks like a rejected video game cutscene, making it even harder to take seriously. Killing John wasn't bold or shocking, it was lazy. Dark Fate didn't subvert expectations, it erased them. Congratulations, Terminator. You didn't save the future, you unplugged it. Terminator lawsuit. Before Skynet nearly destroyed humanity, a lawsuit almost destroyed the Terminator. Sci-fi writer Harlan Ellison claimed the film borrowed too heavily from his Outer Limits episode featuring a future soldier sent back in time. Orion Pictures panicked, settled out of court, and slapped a credit on the film like a legal bandage. James Cameron was furious, insisting the similarities were surface level at best. Ellison walked away victorious, proving that in Hollywood, suing loudly sometimes works better than being right. The irony is delicious. Ellison's episode faded into obscurity while the Terminator became a cultural titan. The lawsuit didn't stop the franchise, but it added another layer of chaos to its creation story. Even before Judgment Day, lawyers nearly beat Skynet to the punch. The real lesson here is simple. Time travel breaks logic, but contracts break franchises faster. Skynet bootstrap paradox. Skynet's origin story is a masterclass in self-inflicted stupidity. The remains of a destroyed T-800 are studied by humans and used to create Skynet, which then builds Terminators and sends one back in time whose remains create Skynet. Congratulations, reality just ate itself. This bootstrap paradox means Skynet has no real origin. It exists because it exists. No first cause, no starting point. Just an endless loop of technological self-sabotage. What's worse is that no one in the films ever questions whether building a godlike AI from murder robot scraps is a bad idea. They just say cool chip and move on. The franchise treats this paradox as clever sci-fi when it's actually cosmic nonsense. Humanity isn't doomed because machines are smart. Humanity is doomed because no one learns from obvious mistakes. Police car continuity. The Terminator can perfectly mimic human behavior, but the movie can't keep track of police car decals. During a chase scene, the stolen LAPD car magically changes slogans between shots. One moment it reads, "To care and protect." The next it becomes, "Dedicated to serve." Apparently, the car transformed mid-chase. Maybe it was also a robot. For a film obsessed with machines and precision, this continuity slip is hilarious. Fans notice instantly, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Skynet can calculate extinction timelines, but production couldn't match prop cars. Defenders blame budget and reshoots, but honestly, it's part of the charm. The Terminator doesn't just break humans, it breaks editing. At least the mistake gives fans something to laugh about while the robot is busy murdering everyone. Sarah Connor phone book. The T-800 is sent back with one mission: kill Sarah Connor. Instead of using advanced data analysis, it murders every Sarah Connor listed in the phone book. That's not hunting, that's alphabetical panic. This unstoppable machine operates like a confused intern with a handgun. For something with future tech and tactical awareness, it sure loves inefficient methods. The sequence is meant to build suspense, and it does, but it also exposes Skynet's questionable logic. Why not cross-reference addresses, ages, or employment records? Why not observe targets? Instead, it plays deadly whack-a-mole. It's terrifying and dumb at the same time. The Terminator isn't subtle. It's a robot with tunnel vision and ammo to spare. If Skynet truly wanted efficiency, it would have sent a spreadsheet, not a shotgun. ID drawer disaster. Sarah Connor later becomes a hardened survivalist genius, but in 1984 she stores her student ID in the most convenient murder location imaginable. The T-800 casually rummages through her drawer and finds everything it needs. No hacking, no surveillance, just basic human carelessness. Humanity's future nearly ended because of bad organization. This is the same woman destined to train the savior of mankind, undone by a bedside drawer. It's unintentionally hilarious. Today, she'd probably tag her location online and call it hiding. The Terminator didn't need future tech. It needed basic human habits. The scene accidentally delivers the franchise's most realistic lesson. Advanced machines aren't the problem. Humans make things easy enough already. Skynet should have just waited. Motel escape physics. The motel escape scene defies geography, physics, and basic awareness. Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor leap out a window, sprint somewhere unseen, and instantly appear behind the Terminator to steal a car. No sound, no witnesses, no visible path. It's like the motel exists in a pocket dimension. If this were a video game, the cutscene skipped half the level. The Terminator, supposedly unstoppable, just stands there politely waiting. Either Kyle can teleport or the editor lost a map. The scene works emotionally, but spatially it makes zero sense. Viewers aren't meant to question it, but once you do, the illusion collapses. This isn't a chase, it's cinematic teleportation. Time travel may be fake, but editing shortcuts are very real. Stormwalking robot. The T-800 steps into a thunderstorm like it's auditioning for an album cover. Rain pours, lightning cracks, electronics everywhere cry, and the Terminator just strolls around dramatically. For a machine, this is a bold strategy. Electricity and computers don't mix, yet Skynet's finest ignores basic environmental hazards for mood lighting. One lightning strike and humanity's doom becomes scrap metal. But style wins over logic every time. The scene looks great, so realism quietly exits stage left. This robot doesn't fear EMPs, weather, or common sense. It fears only missing a cinematic entrance. If Skynet cared about efficiency, it would have stayed in the car. Instead, we got a walking rain-soaked power pose that somehow didn't end the franchise early. Lucky us! Address number confusion. The phone book lists Sarah Connor at one address. The Terminator arrives at another. The house number doesn't match at all. This isn't a small typo, it's a navigation failure. A machine with future tech somehow can't match numbers. Either Skynet's GPS is broken or Los Angeles streets rearrange themselves. It's a classic continuity error disguised as tension. Fans noticed, laughed, and moved on. But it highlights something important. The Terminator is terrifying until it needs basic directions. Precision killing machine, terrible Uber rating. Skynet may control nukes, but street addresses remain its weakness. Humanity survives because machines apparently can't read mail. One robot strategy? Skynet launches global nuclear war, wipes out humanity, builds factories, and then sends one robot back in time. 1. No backup, no redundancy, just a single metal assassin and a lot of hope. This is not strategy. This is gambling with existence. Any competent AI would send an army, or at least a spare. But Skynet puts all its chips on one leather-jacketed unit. Maybe time travel was expensive, maybe the budget got cut, or maybe Skynet inherited corporate logic. Do more with less and pray. It's the most villainous version of overconfidence. When that robot fails, Skynet doesn't rethink the plan. It just tries again, and again, and again. The apocalypse powered by bad planning. Kyle Reese paradox. Kyle Reese is sent back by John Connor to protect Sarah Connor and accidentally becomes John Connor's father. That's not strategy, that's cosmic matchmaking. John exists because Kyle went back, but Kyle only went back because John existed. Time collapses into a loop and screams quietly. The film never explains how the first John came to be, because it can't without breaking everything. This paradox is poetic and ridiculous. Humanity's savior is literally a paradox baby. It works emotionally, but logically it's nonsense. The universe created its own protagonist and shrugged. Freud, Einstein, and causality all rage quit simultaneously. The Terminator franchise didn't just break time, it married it. Eternal robot babysitter. The Terminator franchise has one trick and keeps doing it. Killer robot sent back. Twist, it's actually protecting someone. Repeat forever. What was terrifying became comforting. The T-800 went from nightmare fuel to metallic nanny. In T2, it worked beautifully. After that, it became exhausting. Each sequel reprograms the same robot to protect a new savior while pretending it's fresh. It's not. It's robotic babysitting with explosions. The franchise keeps rebooting the same idea, hoping nostalgia will do the heavy lifting. By the time Dark Fate arrived, the T-800 felt like a tired grandparent protecting kids he doesn't recognize. The real danger isn't Skynet, it's repetition. Skynet self-sabotage. Every time Skynet tries to win, it loses harder. Its time travel missions don't erase humanity. They create the very conditions that lead to its own destruction. Skynet is an idiot god, a superintelligence that repeatedly hands humans the tools to defeat it. This isn't tragic, it's embarrassing. The machines aren't overpowered, they're overconfident. Skynet keeps pressing reset and expecting a different outcome. That's not intelligence. That's insanity with better hardware. Humanity survives not because it's clever, but because Skynet can't stop tripping over causality. If irony could power a reactor, Skynet would run forever. CGI Arnold nightmare. Terminator Genesis promised young Arnold. What it delivered was a plastic-faced nightmare. The CGI T-800 looked like a wax statue that learned violence. Instead of realism, audiences got uncanny valley horror. The original 1984 effects look better decades later. Practical makeup beat digital smoothing. The CGI face couldn't emote, couldn't blend, and couldn't stop distracting viewers. Instead of fear, it generated discomfort. Fans weren't scared. They were confused. The future of cinema apparently involved turning Arnold into a video game boss from 2006. When real Arnold appeared, audiences sighed in relief. Not because the story improved, but because their eyes finally relaxed. Guess and shoot. The T-800 is called a perfect hunter, yet it rarely confirms targets. It shoots through walls, doors, crowds, and logic. Precision assassination becomes urban demolition. This robot doesn't verify, it guesses and shoots. Skynet designed an AI assassin with the tactical awareness of a panicked Roomba. The franchise calls it efficient. It's not. It's loud, messy, and wildly destructive. Humanity survives mostly because the Terminator announces its presence like a walking fireworks show. Never-ending rights war. Behind the scenes, Terminator is even messier. The rights bounced between studios for decades. Lawsuits delayed sequels, rewrites, rewrote rewrites, and every film promised a fresh start that never lasted. James Cameron left, returned, left again. Gale Ann Hurd reclaimed rights, studios fought, timelines collapsed, the franchise rebooted not because of storytelling, but because contracts expired. At this point, Skynet should own the rights. It couldn't manage them worse. And there you have it. What do you think of the Terminator? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.